Brakes on a derby car. Yes, this is a derby car. And no, it does not have any brakes. There's a couple different ways you can do this. I've had a Chrysler Intrepid in the past where right here was this huge ABS sensor that was completely useless and everything was rusted off of it. So what I did on that car is I went right from the master to the front tire, and then the other master right to the other front tire. And that gave me fantastic brakes. The car stopped, no problem. Now this car here, it does not have a huge ABS pain in the ass problem thing, which I'm happy it does not have. What it does have is a broken brake line. So, excuse me. So, let's fill up this brake reservoir and we will pump the brakes until we find where the leak is. And the two options we have is run new lines from the master just to the front tires, nothing to the back, or we find the leak, we crimp the leak, we make sure the leak's not going to leak anymore, and then we re-bleed these front lines to make sure we have front brakes. On a derby car that is front wheel drive, you do not need rear brakes. Actually, even on a rear wheel drive, you do not need rear brakes, but it actually helps. So let's find out where this leak is by adding some brake fluid and pumping the brakes. So now I've added brake fluid and I pumped the brakes and we've seemed to find the leak. So I'm going to lift this car up and we'll see what the leak looks like. So let's go up. So there's our leaky brake line. Now this right here, it looks like it is in a spot that is very easy to crimp. So what we're gonna do is, we're actually gonna cut out the e-brake cable because we don't need that. We're gonna cut the brake line right there where the steel is. And then what we will do is we'll take a hammer and we'll slide a heavy plate in behind there and we'll actually crush the brake line about 12 inches. Even another maybe crush down here because it actually looks a little rough there as well. Let's see if there's a... No, that's the best spot to do that. So what we'll do is we'll try crushing this. Maybe we'll even just cut it right there. And then we'll try crushing this, and then we'll fold it back over on itself, and we'll crush it again. And if we need to, we'll fold it a third time. But let's get started on this. Okay, so you can see that we have removed the e-brake all the way along, which it was rotted out, so who cares. We actually did cut about 3 feet of the brake line out. Just cut it there to get it out of our way. Now, as you can see, we've kind of crushed it there with the hammer, and then we folded it over and crushed it again. So now if you take a look, it is pretty tight. So something like that, the brake fluid is going to have a very hard time getting out of. Now this side over here, the brake lines look really rough. This side here is not leaking, but you know what? I'm just going to cut it apart right now and do that side as well. So I'll do this and then I'll show you both sides. So as soon as I touch this side, it actually just broke right there. So you know, it's best that I did that than lose brakes inside the ring. So this side here has been crimped. As you can see, I actually folded that one twice. Doesn't hurt to have a couple extra folds on it. So she's crimped both sides. So all we have to do now is lower it back down, pump the brakes a whole bunch more times, see if there's any more leaks. And then what we have to do after that, because I actually lost all brake fluid pressure, I have the honor of bleeding brakes on a 30-year-old car. Yay! So let's see if we can pump these brakes and find any more leaks. And then once you have all that done, all you do is you crack your nipples. You slowly let it drain out. And that will relieve about 50% of the air in your lines. And then you have a buddy come over and you bleed the brakes together. That, my friends, is how you fix brake lines on a derby car.